Yo, welcome to another Highdeas movie review. And on this review, I'm going to go over a movie I just woke up and randomly just started watching. It was on Hulu. It's called Crawl. And it's about a young woman while attempting to save her father during a Category 5 hurricane finds herself trapped in a flooding house and must fight for her life against alligators. The director of the movie is Alexandre Aja, starring Kaya Scondelario, Barry Pepper. I don't even know what these other three people are because there's only like two people in the whole movie. Morford Clark, Ross Anderson, Jose Palmer. Those must have been the people that just was there and then was there for like a cameo. So I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna do a quick review. And since if you haven't seen the movie, I'll just do a quick review, how I think about it, what I feel, and then I'll give you 5 to 6 seconds to get off the video. And then I'm gonna go into the video. Into the movie and give like detailed accounts of what I believe or how I feel about the movie. So try something different. That's what I'm doing. So overall, my overall thought of the movie, if I was to rate it on a 5-star scale, 2 stars maybe. A lot of the movie was, of course, what you would expect out of movies like this. Kind of a little corny. It had this nice little action sequences and or like scenes where they was narrowly escaping and like the premise of the story was pretty decent. I get the premise, but the execution was okay. It was so. Um, but I would say if you are interested in movies like this and like Deep Blue Seas and stuff like that, check it out. It's not a offensive watch. It's not going to completely blow your mind, but see, I'm a stickler for the little things, so I'm gonna point out many things, many thoughts going on. It's hard to really write this stuff in real time. I'm watching a movie and things are happening, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm scribbling, and my notes 4.5 pages of notes, scribbling that, going through it. So ultimately, not a bad movie, but for what it was, of course, you wouldn't expect it to be a great movie. And it was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't put it over, like a Deep Blue Sea or what's another one of these type of, like a Jaws or nothing like that. Even Lake Placid or something. It was okay. It was cool. I did like the multiple gators. Didn't see that coming. And I thought they were crocodiles, but they were alligators. So I didn't know, can alligators get that big? I need to look that up. Anyways, so overall, if you want to check that movie out, it's cool. You know, it has that superhero element that all humans like. I can do this through all odds. Like when everything's stacked against me, I can will myself. It's one of those type of movies, and it was cool. It was cool, but like I said, it had its corny moments as well. And a lot of the stuff, like when you really take into account what's going on, it's like it doesn't make sense. And I'll get into that. So that's what I'm gonna say, guys. If you haven't seen the movie, or you don't, or some people that actually don't care to know what happens in the movie, and will listen to the spoilers anyway, I'm giving you 5 seconds to get about the freaking wait. Boom. Okay. Now we're in there. Oh, I'm doing it because it's hot. Second. Okay. So I'm be looking back and forth. I'm trying to remember how you like used to read and look at the crowd, read, and you be reading at the top of the class, but you always gotta look at the and because it's heavy, it's heavy because then because it's heavy because I'm gonna be trying to make that eye contact with you. So here's my movie review broken down, like really broken down. Looks like that on 4 or 5 pages. The first thing I wrote, I love the swimmers at the beginning. It's a guy thing. Absolutely love seeing swimmers, love their bodies. I don't know if I've ever dated a swimmer. Swimmer bodies, interesting. I like that. They had a good little girl represent who the main character was. You know how sometimes they show like a kid version of them, and then they show the adult, and you'd be like, they were light skinned then, now they're dark skinned now. Um, See, it's so. Oh, okay. I thought it was hilarious that when she had turned back around to go back into basically where the storm was. Her father was like in the storm, basically. Like they was shutting off travel for coming in and out of the area, and she had turned back around, and the trooper that stopped her was, I guess, her sister's ex-boyfriend. And I just found it funny that he made sure that he asked about the sister 2 times. He made sure that, just make sure if you didn't hear me the first time, I asked about it 2 times. Just let her know I asked twice. Even though he got the younger sister right here in his face, you should be like, hey, heard your old sister out of state now. What's up with you? JK. That gets you into trouble. Speaking from experience. Um, then she told him that she was going to leave. He was like, man, we can't let you in. She was like, well, can you just please check on my dad? And then she hits like a pause thing about it and hit him with the Michael Vick juke experience with a car. Like, and rolled down the hill and did what she did. There's some type of hostility between her and her father every time she talking to her sister, or in like some type of thought towards her father is very negative, hostile. Um, Jokes about sister having sex. Oh yeah, okay. The sister had made a. The younger sister was talking to the older sister, basically telling her she couldn't find her dad, and she was asking or telling her about the old dude, the dude asking about her, and she was just like, your old boyfriend was asking about you. She was like, he's not my old boyfriend. She was like, you act like I don't remember catching y'all when I was 8 years old. And the sister was like, the sister was like, basically, you would never let me live that down. The older sister said that. The younger sister was like, yeah, you scarred me for life, basically. And I'm just like, maybe it's different for girls. Because Dominique, he was on the other side of that wall. I can only imagine what it sounded like for him, for me. Um, Looking. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh yeah. So she ended up going to another house because she didn't find her father at the regular house, so she went to a second house. I guess they used to own or something. So she's looking for him. She's underneath the house, searching for him, and she like steps in this humongous pile of poop. I just would have been blown. I was just thinking to myself, like, I've been blown. Like, Dad, you owe me some new shoes, bro, for real. She was going through all this stuff and like the spider webs and stuff. She just like act like she didn't see it. Like, you clearly see the big spider webs. Just maneuver around them. She all screaming. You see them. They're so clearly right in your face. Um, Looks like a saber. Okay, so when they found the father, he has this huge, like, gash or so on his shoulder. A huge gash, looked like a saber tooth tiger that bit him or something. Scratched him. Looked terrible. Uh, she used very little effort to move him when she was trying to. I mean, like, the effort, it seemed like she wasn't even really trying to move. She was like, girl, move your dad, okay? If you're really trying to get out of there. Um, and then out of nowhere, as she's trying to move her father to a safe location, boom! Alligator just bust on the scene. No, like, build up to it. No, like, you just poof, bust through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man and Family Guy. And but I guess it explained that huge mark on his neck, because I was like, where'd that come from? Like I said, you didn't know that the alligators were already in the home, so that was weird. I kept writing crocodile, but I thought the crocodile would be bigger, but apparently it's an alligator, so it makes sense. Walls look very weak. There was a point where they finally like got into a little boxing, like a little room with these pipes blocking or something, and it was like these holes and stuff in the bricks, and they was acting like they was really safe there, and I'm just like, how do you feel safe after you just watched the alligator bust through the wall? Like he literally just bust through the wall, so I wouldn't have felt safe there. I did like the part where, excuse me, she's looking to see. I just made some spaghetti. She's looking to see where the alligators were, and he was sitting over in the corner. You could just see the yellow of his eyes watching her. I thought that was pretty cool, good visual. It was a point where the father is just waking up from being, he was knocked out this whole time. He's waking up. Oh, Amanda, type whatever. So she takes her old dirty shirt because it's raining hard. Rain coming through the floors, rain rising. She takes his old dirty shirt. Her dad acting like, he's been in the Sahara Desert, in the middle of a heat stroke. So I mean, like she's squeezing this old dirty rag or t-shirt, water in his mouth. Like, yo, he doesn't need more water. I mean, how long has he been down there? Maybe an hour? I'm just saying. And acting like he was down there for 5 days in the catacombs or something. Ungrateful father basically told her to piss off. And she was trying to help him. He was just like, look, I can do this by myself. But she didn't even realize he had a broken leg, or he had a bone broken in his leg. Talking about he could do it by himself and all this stuff. I don't need you. I can do this. If I was her, I'd have been like, you know what? You can kiss my ass. I just came all the way down here to save you in a Hurricane 5, Category 5. Almost was eaten by an alligator, and this is all you have to say to me? I'd have been like, cool. Out of there. The broken leg really did suck. It looked terrible when they showed it. And it always trips me out in movies. Even when you're like, life is in danger, you're arguing about personal issues and stuff. I always find that funny. And I kept trying to figure out, why did she hate the father so much? Why is there so much beef? They never got to it. Never explained it. Just kind of kept going back and forth about it. Like, there was just so much hostility. You could just... So, at one point, she drops her phone when she was trying to carry her father to the little, whatever, that little box place where they were sitting. And so she sees the phone is out there, her girlfriend calling her, so she sneaks her way out there, and she sees the crocodile, and the crocodile's like looking out the crocodile's looking out the window like he's in jail or something, looking out the bars. All he needed was a mug to just crocodile just looking like, I wish I could get home. And instead of just picking up her phone and going back to the safe place, no, she picks up the phone and she starts to dial 911 right there where she's sitting in the freaking opening. And she hears like something like, and so she like kind of looks, and the crocodile's like, I keep on, alligator's trying to bite her. I thought that was a really cool visual. That was a cool visual. And she tried to get away. I'm like, oh, if she gets away, this is some bull crap. Like, you're not telling me the alligator can't get her. Alligator grab her leg. She getting closer to dad, pulls her off. She fights it off. And it's completely surprised me. It was 2 crocodiles. Alligators. 2 alligators popped up. Oh, that's a twist. I thought it was going to be just one humongous alligator crocodile. Apparently, there's multiple alligators. Cool. Did not see that coming. And they were, I wrote here, she's a lot tougher than her father, because she had, at that point, a few injuries, and she was just pushing through. And the dad sitting over there, just like, he ain't moved for about the first 30 minutes he was on screen, outside of when she dragged him to the place. And then as one point when she had gotten away from the crocodiles, she like deliberately ran into some cords. Like, they were so obviously there, she could have like got away from it. She just literally just ran into and got all tangled up. And the crocodile just, that's what I hate about movies. Why you're so aggressive any other time, but when you got them in your sight, you stalk them. Just attack them. So then she stabbed the crocodile in the eye. And then she ducked off into a little cubby, stabbed in the eye. And then she wanted to see if where the crocodile was. Her and her dad are yelling. Actually, I think he was screaming if she was okay, but she wouldn't say nothing. So they're back in the Yeah, so she was trying to see where he was, and when she looked, the crocodile like stepped out. And when she stabbed in her eye, they did that thing alligator. When they open their mouth and just leave it open, that kind of ah. And then he just like moseyed about his business. Her dad, like I said, was screaming her name, and it literally like the crocodile alligator was gone for like 2 minutes. She wouldn't even say nothing. Took her sweet time responding to her dad. That would make me want to slap her if I was her father. Um, and where the dad is, where he's calling her from, he's literally like out in the open. Like the opening is, it was throwing me off. I wrote, "Dad is in the opening where the crocodile could eat him." Apparently, he don't care. That's what I wrote. He apparently just didn't care. The what? Oh, oh, and they showed her leg. She was sitting there, going after she got away from the crocodile because one bit her leg. She shows her bite. It looks terrible. But of course, on her clothing, she had this perfect size, like little ribbon string that she tied around the leg to like cut off the blood, the pressure or whatever, the blood could stop flowing. Always just right on time. Of course, her clothing just happened to seamlessly have a perfect, right when she needed it. It was just right there. She just had it already on her. So then she wrapped the leg. Okay, got that. I wrote the higher the water gets, the worse for them because you can start seeing the water rise. And of course, alligators, they can be on the surface or they just have them eyes sitting up top. So while you looking, you can't really see them because I'm just, that'll be terrible. That'll be a horrible situation. As long as they've been sitting, yeah, I was saying like they were sitting for a while, just kind of waiting, trying to wait it out. And I'm writing like as long as they've been sitting, his leg, which is broken, would have definitely numbed up. He would not be able to move. And her bites would have been, her legs would have stiff. Like when you play basketball and you sit down for 5 minutes, your body tightens up. And her adrenaline by that time would have been kind of down because you're still heightened, but your adrenaline isn't pumping the same. Oh yeah, speaking of broken leg, Dad fixes his own broken leg. Is he a doctor? I wrote. Does everyone know this knowledge? I'm talking about he took this something, put the bone like a metal piece over the bone, and was pulling it and put it back into place. This is what the dad did. Oh, construction working dad knows how to fix a broken leg, set a broken leg. I thought that was because I'm very knowledgeable, but I wouldn't even thought to do that. I have no clue how to fix a broken leg other than say, "Mommy, mommy." So I guess this is where these other people names come in. So they start showing 3 people at like a gas station because the girl was trying to get their attention. They're trying to look for people. Of course, there were people literally like 200-300 feet away at the gas station, still in the ATM machine, right? So I instantly write, as soon as I seen the people, I wrote, "I bet one gets eaten. I bet." Before I get to the results of that, the boy sees the girl waving the flashlight. He tells the girl like, "Hey, I think there's somebody needs help over there." So he kind of walks away from where the girl, I think they were like in a little boat, from the girl in the boat. And the girl's acting like she keeps saying like she don't see it. But then they showed the camera from the girl who's inside the house flashing the light. And literally you can see the light flash right on the girl's face. Like she flashes them. She's flashing the girl on her face too. So I was just like, she's being a dick. And at the same time, the crocodile is eating the girl in the boat. Just came up out of nowhere, eating the girl. He turns around. He's like, "I told you it's." You see the crocodile getting eaten. His little brother's inside, stealing more stuff. He's trying to get his little brother out the store, or to get out the water. What you think happened to him? He gets super munched on. And I'm talking about the crocodile had a problem with him. I mean, Like he was walking and he just vanished, and then he just came out the water like and slammed his head, smacked it to the window like, and I was like, "Dad, crocodile, what did he do? You ain't like the boots he had on or something like?" And then you think the little brother gonna possibly get away and be able to be with the people? No, ate the little brother too. So the alligator can't kill the two people that he's locked in close quarters with, but he can swim out there and eat all three of the cameo people. So maybe that's the three people. Maybe. I don't know. They didn't last too long. Cause I wrote how does he not hear the crocodile attacking the front? He just acting like he don't hear it. She's screaming and hollering in the background. Um, yeah, I wrote here I didn't expect everybody. I thought at least one, but and then they showed the girl from the house. She like literally watched them all die like from the house. She was just like once it was finished, she was just like, oh, you you just watched the crocodile eat three people. Oh, I keep alligator. Alligators don't eat people though. Not like that. It should have been crocodiles. But I don't think crocodiles are in America. That's an alligator thing. Crocodiles are more like Africa. So whatever. So then at one point they're still trying to escape because the water's rising. So it's like this little opening under, not a little opening, but it's an opening underneath these pipes. She puts like a cage, like a open cage, like a small dog cage in the, I guess that's for his head because she had caught one like that earlier. I thought that was very stupid. What is that cage going to do for a humongous alligator? Nothing. And as she was trying to get out, she ran into some more spiders. It was really funny. A bunch of spiders was on her face, but it was the fakest spiders I've ever seen since the eight-legged freaks. So I thought CGI came a long way. Apparently not. Help finally came. It was the guy that she asked to go check up on her dad. And he was called, they were calling, they were banging on stuff in the house, screaming his name. He was just acting like he couldn't hear. I'm like, damn, what is this, soundproof? Like, is it soundproof? Really blew me. Um, oh yeah, there you go. I wrote, house must be soundproof. So as she's trying to like get to a point where he can hear her better, she's looking on the surface, but remember the water keeps rising. I write, I get why you're looking on the surface, but you need to be underwater. You need to like peek underwater. That's where the crocodile's 98% of his body is there. 98. It's the two eyeballs like. So I put cop will be eaten. I wrote both because after the first three people got destroyed like that, I wrote both. Both cops will be eaten, but it was one cop that they just kept telegraphing it. It's like a door that opens like this, and he's looking down, and you can just tell the alligator is going to reach up and pull him through the door. I wrote that. It's coming. He's going to reach up and pull him through the door. Of course, almost like Blue Street in the sense where Samuel L. Jackson up there talking and dude just jogging. You didn't see that really coming, but you could see this coming. So open the door. Oh, I think I found them. And then he just bites him, eats him up. So once again, same alligators that's been in this basement with these two people for maybe an hour or two. Can't kill them, but have killed a cop and three people. I'm just saying. Can't get the people that they stuck down there with, but it's snatching everybody else up. And then they killed the other cop too. He had like seen somebody. He had seen like something stuck on the swings went over there. Whatever happened to him, he didn't make it. They ate him. So maybe he was Jose Palmer, and Ross Anderson was the cop. I don't know. Maybe those are the two cops because they didn't last longer than 5 minutes. They had more screen time than the three people, so maybe that's why their name was there. I wrote, I called it. I called it right through the opening. Both cops dead, but haven't killed the two people in there. Shake my head. Don't understand that because the people that's being killed outside have more freedom to run around and get safe, and the people that's locked in like these little small quadrants, they're surviving. So she at some point, I think she was trying to like sneak and swim somewhere or swim to get to an opening. And there's like, now remember, all of this is popping off. We talking about cops being murdered and dragged and blood and getting ripped to shreds and all this stuff. And this other crocodile just sitting there like this, just sitting there like, and then she tries to like walk around or swim, and then the crocodile like picks up on her and kind of goes after it. No, I believe once that blood would have hit the water, the crocodile would have been trying to get at him. Okay, so I just common sense things. At some point, she was crying with her father. I wrote, "I hate people's cry face." That is a genuine. I hate people's cry faces. Um, the dad tried to give a motivational speech about how his daughter, can do this, and I gave the motivational speech a 2, 3 out of 5, maybe. He didn't have the right voice. He didn't have the right delivery. He had like the voice like the brother off of Bates Motel. Like the brother that came back later in the season that slept with his mom. He has like one of them soft voices like that. It just doesn't. When I want to be motivated, I need a James Earl Jones voice. I need a deep Fossa to tell me to uplift me. The Rock. Somebody like that. I don't know. So then they finally get to the root of the problem, which I was hoping they got to. And it was basically the father left her mother. And I guess she blames herself for the divorce or the breakup because of all the time he spent trying to develop his daughter into this great swimmer. But the father was telling her, no, y'all two are what kept the marriage alive. And when y'all left and went to college and there was an empty house, it just, we didn't really have that love for each other. So his mom, the mom moved on and is having a better, she's, I guess, back in the game, dating somebody, and the father is basically like, I don't deserve to move on. And the daughter's like, yes, you do. So we got to the point. That was cool. The pops, I'm not giving y'all a middle finger. The pops, single teardrop. I like that because American actors aren't the best criers. I've seen international actors are kicking our butts with the crying. Will Smith can cry, he can cry. Straight up, that man would drop tears. But a lot of American actors have a hard time crying. I'll never forget watching, I think it was the first season of Stranger Things. And what's the mom? From Mr. Deeds, from Edward Scissorhands. What's her name? Her. She can't cry. She tried her hardest to cry in that show. She cannot cry. She can't do it. But I watch a lot of international shows on Netflix, and everybody cries. If it's a cry scene, they're crying. There's not a dry eye in there. Everybody dropping tears. Whatever film school they go to, good freaking job. So then they come up with a plan to bang on the pipes to distract the alligator so she can get to an opening so she can get out because the water is rising. But outright, why would you bang on pipes? I mean, why would banging on pipes work now? Because they did that when they was trying to get the guy's attention, the police officer, and the crocodiles didn't care then, so why would they care now? But of course, because it fits the narrative, when he bangs on the pipes, of course the crocodiles are, it grabs their attention. When literally, not even the guy getting murdered and eaten up in the water grabbed their attention. But okay. I wrote, because she was trying to like sneak around alligators, and I'm like, I'm not a alligator expert, but can't alligators like sharks like sense body temperature change in the water? So I mean, you trying to sneak around wouldn't really necessarily work. I would think they would know you're in the water. But then I forgot why I wrote the timing. The timing in movies are impeccable because something happened. Oh, he banging on the pipes. The crocodile's coming towards him, and right at the last bang, it drops. Like the house caves in and drops on top of the alligator. So yeah, the timing of that is impeccable. Okay, I really felt like the dad should have died. Okay, so the dad ended up stabbing the crocodile. I'm like, can crocodiles hear or feel vibrations? Because she was like sneaking off and like her foot hit something. And as soon as it hit, the crocodile was like, "What? What was that? Who was that?" I'm like, can they hear or can they feel vibrations in the water? The dad killed the croc. This was stabbing him to death. In real life, this would be terrifying. But in movie form, it doesn't really work out. Like, it had good imagery, but actual alligators, you having to deal with like five, six, seven of them, that would be terrifying. But watching on the movie doesn't do it for me. Movies don't make me jump. I'm waiting for a movie to make me jump. I haven't jumped at a movie since probably 2002. So maybe earlier than that. So it didn't have the jump factor, but I'm sure there was maybe two parts in there that might have caught people off guard. So she found some eggs because she had finally swam and got into an opening where she could try to get out and escape. And she found these eggs, and she didn't smash them. I would have smashed them eggs. It's all right. Oh, so we're gonna have 15 more crocodiles in this jump. No, I'd have like all that would happen. Oh yeah. Also, I wrote what happened with her bitten leg. I thought she got bit on her leg. She's moving perfectly fine. She's swimming like a little fish. Okay. And then a crocodile came down the tunnel. She's literally standing right there by the eggs. I thought the crocodile was going to come, like the mama croc was going to come and kick her butt, or alligator kick her butt because like, hey, you with my eggs. It's like the alligator didn't even see her. The alligator just walks right past her, swims right on past. I was like, okay, so it's going to jump up and attack her, right? So she's like looking in the water, which I'm like, if you know it's an alligator in the water, why are you putting your face like this in the water? No, bro, you're gonna bite your face off. She grabs the gun off the cop guy because they dragged the body all the way over there. I don't know why, but that's where the body made it to. Gets the gun off, and I want to say she was looking like this, looking this way, and he came from behind. He bit her arm, and she just started shooting in his mouth. I personally think the crocodile would have still took her arm off, or alligator would took her arm off, but nevertheless, she killed him screaming in pain because he was biting the crap out of her arm. And immediately after this situation, they show her crawling again. She's almost had her arm bitten off. She's had her leg almost bitten off. And she is moving without any pain at all. The dad was trying to figure things out, but it looked like he was going to die because the water was filling up. He only had like a little bit of space there. And I wrote, thank God she could hold her breath because she had to like swim through this tunnel to get to be outside, and she ended up being under a couple of crocodiles. So the crocodile sees her, and she's swimming to get out of there. And oh no, hold up, pause. I'll go back. Okay. And he sees her, and she makes her onto the land, the surface, real quick. And I wrote, Dad literally has a chin of air left. Like literally, he was like, he literally had a chin left. And so I wrote, bust the floor with your weak ass, because her father's like literally dying. You can see him taking his last gasps, and she's having a hard time bust the floor open. Like, yo, bust the floor open. Like, man, that was my dad or anybody in my family I care about. It took me one, I exploded that joint like brawly. And then of course she's trying to bring him to life. Dad, Daddy, and Dad's. So of course she beats the chest, and he. All right, here. Suppose you break his chest. Suppose you break his rib, and you know. Wasn't it when you push too hard you could break their rib and they could. Suppose she broke his rib by punching him in the chest. The classic pound on the chest. Yeah, suppose you break a rib, puncture his lungs or something. And then they're stuck. Why are they stuck? Everything is flooded. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like they look out the window and everything is like flooded, um, and then they're moving. They're doing a lot of moving. They're doing a lot of trying to get away, a lot of walking and crap. And I'm right. Am I the only one who remembers his leg is broken and he just died? Daughter leg is bitten and arm. Dad's shoulder is severely scarred. What the F? And they are taking the dog because they was trying to walk. They was trying to get to a specific place. So they're taking the dog. He's walking on a broken leg. He has a bitten shoulder. He don't have a damn arm. Did I get to? No, did he bite the arm off yet? No. Okay, sorry. Jumped that. So he had died because he drowned. Shoulder bitten. Broken leg. Daughter bitten. 2 spots. And they're carrying the dog. And they're trying to cross with 6, 7 alligators in the water. He finally grimaces. Like he's, hey. Like his leg hurt. That's oh wow. Took him only 80 hours past the first leg break to even acknowledge that his leg was hurting. And then it stopped raining because I guess they were trying to sneak around the crocodiles. But now it stopped raining, so the noise, there's no rain noise. It was in the eye of the storm. But that was a pretty nice little visual. And as they were standing there trying to be calm, the crocodile literally swims between them. And Dad's like, hey, stay still. And I'm like, okay, you telling me the crocodiles that's been eating everybody that you could find, now all of a sudden, y'all in harmony? He just swim right past y'all. Maybe he's full. He ate too many people today. Is that one? How many of them are there? Which one is it? I didn't understand that. I thought it was ridiculous. So he tells his daughter that she can swim faster than alligators, which I thought was bullcrap. But I said if she does it, definitely a movie, and this is BS. So she outswam 3 crocs and hit a Le'Veon Bell. Y'all remember Clinton Portis back in the day? Right before Clinton Portis used to get hit, he would like dive underneath the tackles and get extra yards. That is what she did, swimming on 3 crocodiles. They were converging on her, and she hit like a Clinton Portis dive over. It was weird, and she just made it like, and she like slipped right through her. I was like, okay. And then she calls herself, because her dad calls her an apex predator. She calls herself, I am an apex predator. All day. That's right. She said she's an apex predator all day. I made sure I wrote down all day. The levees broke. Wink, wink. Water is savage. The way the water was beating them up when it came to the water, came through the window was ridiculous. At the same time, because I'm like, is the water up on the second level? Like, is it up to the second level of the house? Because I think they went upstairs and they were looking, and you could see the water like at the window, and then you see this rush of water and this alligator right in the middle of it. Boom! Right through the glass. And then I wrote, aren't these crocodiles full? Because I thought the one just went right past you. Now they back to ready to attack you. All right. And she was trying to stay on the top. I think it's what you see in the commercial. She stay on top like the stove and all that stuff. She falls in the water at some point. But the dad, he still has a broken leg and he's kicking it. If I wrote he should die if I wrote this, because he's like holding her down. But I somewhat expect him to, but usually, I said I somewhat expect him to die, but usually 2 survivors happen in movies like this. And I wrote, think back to Anaconda, Deep Blue Sea. There's typically 2 survivors. Only solo survivors are like horror movies, like Jason or something like that. But in movies like this, it's typically 2 people. So if I wrote it, he would have died. because he was holding his daughter up. But because of the type of movie it was, I figured he probably would live. But then the damn dog just swimming around. Like, dog was just swimming in the water, and I wrote, if the crocodile eat him or the alligator eat him, I will laugh out loud. I was watching this at like 2, 3 in the morning. I would have burst out laughing. Just in the middle of the night, just geeking. So then the croc grabbed the dad's arm. Poor damn dog. I'm not poor damn dog, but the damn dog's safe on the steps. Croc took dad's arm and chased the girl. Why not eat dad is what I wrote. You're munching on somebody here, but I didn't get that. It was weird. So the story is she swims faster than alligators, because that's the story they was basically trying to show. She kept beating them to the punch and couldn't get caught. Of course, Dr. Dad fixes his arm. Of course he did. Now, if he could set a broken leg, why not fix your missing arm now? I wrote, cool visual of her escaping the croc bite in the bathroom. That's the way you see in the commercial where he circles around, comes into the stall, and she jumps over and he just barely misses it. It's cool. So is the water up to the second level window? I think I might have jumped something there. Because I remember that alligator come busting through the... Oh, okay, so I did jump to a little soon. So this is the part where she was trying to get a helicopter, but they did show at one point the water was up to like the second level. So she was trying to get to signal the helicopter, and the croc burst through the window. He burst through the window, and then the croc bites her shoulder and hits the alligator roll thing. I keep saying croc, y'all know what I'm talking about, alligator. Bites her neck and starts doing the roll over and over, and like life pauses, and her life suddenly before our eyes, flashes before our eyes. Somehow, even while you're getting your damn shoulder and almost ripped off and being spun in circles, she had the wherewithal to grab the flare that was on the ground in the water, and she's being spun around in, and grab it, stab crocodile in the eye. So apparently she's Wonder Woman. And when does the body ever quit? Apparently never. You can get bit on your shoulder, lose an arm, have a broken leg, doesn't matter. You got a string to stop the bleeding, you'll be okay. Dad with the one arm snatches daughter off the roof, because at some point she's about to fall off the edge of the earth. I don't know what's about to happen. And he sticks out this one arm and snatches her out the water with one arm. Shoulder, broken leg, arm missing. And that fucking dog is still there, nice and safe. And by the way, wouldn't hypothermia might have set in by this time? All that time being in pouring down rain in cold water. And she waves down the helicopter with the flare. How many flares are there? And that is how it ended. She had the flare. Helicopter found her. In the movie, 2 out of 5. Whatever. Go check it out if you want to. If not, just watch the movie review. And I pretty much gave it to you basically how it is. So let me know if y'all like this new setup where I do like a beginning and then I get deep into it. Whatever. Like I said, average movie, especially for what it was. Try not to judge it too harshly, but sometimes these movies just completely forget that they forget their own story. There's no way you can do all of this. There's no way that man could have walked all around like he did and swam, did all this stuff with a broken leg. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Whatever. Y'all get the point. Till next time. Highdeas. Smoke weed.